Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and in today's video, this is my Deadpool and Wolverine spoiler review. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alright guys, so I have been so pumped up, so excited to make this review for you for various reasons. A, I made a vlog. Be sure to click the card up there or up there, wherever it is. And I went and saw this film with three great friends of mine from BG, over at BG University, where I go to college. And it was just one of the best times I had, one of the best weekends I've had with them. And I could talk about it for hours. Endlessly. I mean, the whole... I didn't get a vlog of the whole weekend, but I got a vlog with them. Be sure to check that out. And I actually made a post on Instagram as well about the entire weekend. So be sure to read that and check out that info. So anyway, guys, so what I think about this movie is this score. Let's talk about the score first. Rob Simonson, he did the Atom Project. He composed the Atom Project, The Whale, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and those are three projects I think are astounding. And he has such a uniqueness to his scores. I think Ghostbusters Afterlife with his score is phenomenal since the original. Like, I don't think Ghostbusters Frozen Empire does anything justice to the music. It really doesn't. Besides the main theme song, but the songs in Deadpool and Wolverine are even better, or work side by side comparison to the soundtrack, with the soundtrack. And like the soundtrack, like LFG, that Let's Sleep and Go theme song to this movie is just amazing. The little like rap sequences and like heroic Avengers type music, it works so well in this movie, and I love it. And Rob Simonson is perfect for this movie. Now I say perfect, but I just think he fits because he's friends with Sean Levy, that he's like, hey, you're from the Atom Project, come do this one. Now I don't recall like a Sean Levy film, Free Guy. Like I think Christoph Beck did that movie, but see, I don't see Christoph Beck doing a Deadpool movie. I feel like Rob Simonson here because he was friends from the Atom Project and here, so I kind of like that. Song choices, we're gonna get like the cold open when this film just opens and there's the NSYNC bye 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 just going around stealing Logan, like when the scene opens, a movie opens with the Logan movie ending and you see the X sitting there. I loved how they tied in Logan to it, and it really felt like they were honoring the legacy as well as tying in Logan, like, bringing in the Wolverine, hence the movie name, Deadpool Wolverine, but it just worked, and that whole fight scene with the bye bye bye, the synchronicity, along with the choreography, was perfect, and I was laughing my butt off at it, going, I was perfect, I love the open. I don't know if it was the best, like, I'm biased to say that this film is the best Deadpool movie. Frankly, that's what I said about the third Ant-Man movie, and that changed my tone. Oh, sorry. Anyway, but frankly, like, this one, like, I'll get to it at the end, but, like, the way they do the cold open, I'm like, I don't know what my favorite cold open is from all the Deadpool movies, because they're all so dang awesome. But anyway, we have that moment, we get the title card with Deadpool, like, with the Wolverine clause, he's like, oh, this is the movie you probably expected, but we then get there's action and the humor that is as great as ever. I said the first moment with the fight with the TVA, we get the Deadpool and Wolverine fight in the car, we get the final battle, Deadpool's. All the action is great. It's bloodier, gorier, and sexier than ever. There's a lot of great, just sexual references that is great to hear coming out of Deadpool's mouth and other people. And, the characters in this film, let's talk about it. Like, we got Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds returning A+. We got Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, this is his 10th film, or probably 11th film, one of the two. And he's just, it's great to see him again. And they're gonna, like, one of the quotable lines, like, Wolverine's like, yeah, or Ryan Reynolds like, yeah, they brought Wolverine, Disney brought him back. They're gonna play him till he's gonna play him till he's 90. I loved it. And another quotable line, my favorite line was, your fingers are inside me, but not in a good way. It was so great. And then it's been steadily great since Endgame. I think that's what Nice Pool said. But there's just different cameos. I'm gonna get to the cameos and all the Deadpool variants in a minute. But the characters, we have Wolverine, we have all these cameos, but what I'm going to mention is we have Happy Hogan, who's a great cameo in there. Who's in the opening act? Deadpool's talking to him like, I want to join the Avengers, and he's like, at the end of the movie, he goes, Hugh Jackman's like, you'd be a worthy choice to join the Avengers. So I feel like one of my nitpicky things here is I haven't heard anybody else talk about this, but one of my nitpicky things here about the characters is that we have a lot of cameos, and this movie is Deadpool and Wolverine. Now let me say this much: I don't hate the movie in any way. I love the movie. I want to watch it again on Disney Plus multiple times. But what shine a whole... Now, I have to say, I actually think this movie gets a positive in this regard because, I haven't said it yet, but because of what Ant-Man 3 didn't do, but this film just feels like it's... I'm wondering what the best Deadpool film is because of this reason. If I like Deadpool 2 more than this, or if I like this more because of this reason, and I'll tell you why. Because, Deadpool's friends, like, he goes to the world where he's a car salesman, and Peter's there. He's talking to Peter, has a nice banter with Peter. I love Peter. Peter's the MVP. But we see Shatterstar, we see, Cable's not back, and Domino's not back, and Teenage Warhead's back, Yukio's back, Colossus is back, Topinder is back, right? And Vanessa's back. But they're there to party, to celebrate Wayne's birthday, and then they're there at the end. And they're not really there to help the narrative story. And what kind of bothers me is that they're not there for the mission. Like, it's not like Deadpool goes back and is like, I need your help, guys. And it's like, that kind of would have been really, really cool to see. And unfortunately, they didn't. Now, I'm not saying that makes a negative impact on the film. It just feels, meh. And I don't know, it just is a bother thing. It just, bothers me a little bit. Because, in the first two, like I said, it's not like Ant-Man 3 where they didn't have Louise at all. They actually did have those characters in the movie. So I buy that. I accept that. But it just feels like they were there to be there. Now, again, like I said, this is Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a buddy cop thing. They had the little road trip thing. And in the Void, when they get pruned to the Void, when Paradox takes him, I thought Paradox was fine as an actor in the film. As acting in the character, I just didn't really care for him. I know he's kind of like an antagonist, but at the same time, I get very excited when the TVA shows up on screen. Like, yeah, we're doing the TVA, Loki, and I love that Deadpool's like, oh, Eliath is here from Loki season 1, episode 5. But I got kind of frustrated when I'm like, I just don't care about Paradox. Now, his tone, his attitude was very unique, but at the same time, I'm like, I just don't care. If it was Owen Wilson explaining it, that'd be interesting. But it wasn't, and I really like that we had B-15 in there, and I'm really eager to get to the cameos, but I'm going to do it in just 1 second. But, yeah, it was a nice buddy cop film with Deadpool and Wolverine, and when they got in the Void, Deadpool's like, very Mad Maxy in here, and he mentions the Furiosa thing. So I'm going to say Furiosa, we're going to get into the cameos, finally. But when we get into the Void, we're introduced to Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four, and his mouth, it's a filthy one. And I loved it. Cracked my back there. Whew. And we get Toad, we get Sabretooth, we get Lady Deathstrike, we get Azazel, and we get, Cassandra Nova, who's the big bad, who is very interesting. I'll talk about her in a minute. But those villains were great. And Sabretooth, like I said, we get Pyro, and Sabretooth is like, I know you. To Wolverine is like, this is the fight we've been waiting for. And Deadpool just cuts his head off. He's like, look, I got the warrior right here, Furiosa. It's hilarious. But and then we get, somebody said there's Blob in this movie. I have to go and double check that again. Not that I didn't do my research for this movie, but my dad was like, was Blob in the movie? I'm like, I don't know. Gotta look that up. But my friend next to me at the theater from college was like, is that Absorbing Man or Wrecking Ball? And I'm like, I don't know. Because he had a Wrecking Ball, but I was lost. I was like, I don't know. It went too fast for me to say. So, don't know on that one. But, love those cameos. And then we get Wesley Snipes' Blade. Deadpool and Wolverine are kidnapped from the car. And it's Wesley Snipes' Blade, Jennifer Garner's Elektra, and Channing Tatum's Gambit. What we've wanted Channing Tatum's Gambit, and we got it. And he brought it to life perfectly in this movie. And we also get Daphne Keane, who we saw in the trailer, as X-23 is back. She puts on the glasses for the fight scene. They're going down where they're going at Cassandra Nova's little hideout, and it's the Void. In the Void is the Paul Rudd's skull helmet just opens up, and he's like, Deadpool's like, wow, Paul Rudd is aged. So that was funny. All that stuff. And, you know, it was awesome to see those cameos. And like I said, Channing Tatum's Blade, I love that. That was my favorite thing. Like his accent, he's like, I make stuff go boom. And it was perfect. All of that was perfect in my eyes. The cameos were way better in this film. It didn't feel forced like in Multiverse of Madness. It felt deserved in this movie because the fans have been wanting it. I mean, the fans kind of were wanting a John Krasinski Mr. Fantastic, but it just didn't work in the way. Like after watching this movie, like going back and watching, I love Multiverse of Madness for the horror and everything, the directing wise that Sam Raimi did. But it didn't feel like the cameos were well deserved in that movie. It felt like in this one they were well deserved because they were in the void. Because now, even though the other cameos in Multiverse of Madness were another universe, that made total sense. But in this one, it just felt like they're in the void. They were pruned here. And they have a narrative purpose to Deadpool. Even the purpose of Elektra being from Daredevil and the point of Ryan Reynolds had been in a Blade movie. It wasn't Deadpool, but it was in a Blade movie. That just cracked me up with that joke. He's like, I know you, and I don't like you. It was hilarious. But the villain, I like Cassandra Nova. I just don't know I liked her as much as Cable and Ajax from the first film. But she was nice nonetheless to see the sister of Professor X doing her moves and everything. She got the sling ring from Doctor Strange. It was nice and everything. But the one, like, another critique I have on this movie is that I'm going to talk about the final battle with all the Deadpools. It felt like that was the main final battle, and then we get, like, this ending to stop Cassandra Nova, and they take her down, but it's not like they're fighting her. And there's plenty of other movies, like, I don't know one off the top of my head, but, let's just say Doom Patrol, for instance, you know? They have these villains in Doom Patrol, it's a series, by the way, it's not a movie, but where they're like, let's have this villain, and we don't really fight him. Or we have this villain, and we don't fight him. You know, it's kind of like that, like, kind of bothers me, because, you know, I wish there was a Deadpool movie with Hit Monkey, because that would be so interesting. I'd love to see that action, but anyway, I just go, well, you know, there are a bunch of fight scenes. Now, they try to fight Cassandra Nova in the void, but then when she's out of the void at the TVA, I'm just like, they didn't have, like, a final fight with her. I don't know. It just kind of seemed lackluster, like a little bit like Age of Ultron, when they're fighting them, laser, and then he runs off. I was like, what was that? Like, what was that? Like, you know at the end of okay. Like, I don't know, they fight Thanos a bunch, and then he snaps and he's gone. Like, that's epic. And then this film was epic. But I just can't put, there's something, I'm going back and forth. Like, I don't know what my favorite Deadpool movie is, but let's talk about the final battle. All the Deadpools, right? We have so many Deadpool variants. We have Headpool, we have like a metallic female robot pool, we have Dogpool, who is another MVP. Peter's an MVP because Peter Pool, I'm getting to, they were all loving Peter Pool. But Kid Pool, who is Ryan Reynolds' son, Baby Pool, who is Ryan Reynolds' other son, the one-year-old baby, and Blake Lively, who is the wife of Ryan Reynolds, who is the Lady Pool. Way better choice than Taylor Swift. Sorry, Taylor Swift, but you can get out of the MCU because you'll never be in it. Thank you. Anywho, that's my personal preference. Like, me and my friends, like in the vlog, we're like, it would have been stupid to do that. Like, I don't understand. Blake Lively was a better choice. So, we got Nice Pool. It was hilarious because he does apparently regenerate. Hilarious. Who else was there? There was like Cowboy Pool and a slew like Suka. I totally just was racist there for a second. Like a Sumo Warrior Deadpool and a bunch of other ones, and they're all fighting and going all over the place throughout the bus. Very cinematic shot. And it had a Stanley, the old guy who created the Marvel Comics with all the cameos, but Stanley Steamer word on the bus. It was perfect, like, Stanley reference cameo within a Stanley Steamer, like, advertisement. Like, that was hilarious and perfect. Like, it was a hilarious moment in a Deadpool film, and just reference going side by side when they're fighting on the bus. I loved it so much. Loved the Deadpool fight scene. Loved everything they did. And like I said, Hell's Bells was playing when Deadpool and Wolverine fought in the void. And let me talk more about the songs because I kind of forgot to. And The Greatest Show played for like, this is the greatest show. And then they're slamming on the radio. And then You're the One That I Want from Grease was playing as they were fighting in the car. And when he's going to find all the different... By the way, the Wolverine variants, there was like a short Wolverine, there was one that was like dying on a cross, like an X, like Jesus kind of. There was Henry Cavill, the Cavalrine Wolverine, which is awesome. I guess it was him trying out the part. He's like, you gotta leave. And then there was one that was like a hippie or something, like beating him up in an alley. There was one that was like the brown and yellow. That is like, you fight the Hulk in this universe, right? And the Hulk just in the background. That was crazy as well. And I loved all that. And during that scene, the Huey Lewis and the News' Power of Love was playing. And there were some great other songs in the movie. But at the end, Good Riddance was playing. And he's like, I don't want the world to see me, 'cause you just need to know who I am. And that song was playing at the end when they come out. And Good Riddance at the end was playing as well. And Time of My Life. Stay tuned. There's 2 end credit scenes. Oh yeah, Wolverine and Deadpool are sitting on the stairs, and the Dogpool runs up to him. And he's like, "This is my moment." So they come up. Deadpool and Wolverine meet, and they go back to the world because they saved the world from Cassandra Nova. Where they're holding the time streams together to save her, and they blow it up, and they don't die, unfortunately, because Paradox is like, someone's gonna die. You're both gonna die. So they do that. Then they meet up with the family at the end and celebrate. The moment. They have a little party, and X-23 is there as well. Fortunately, Gambit's not there. It's so sad. The rest of us not there. But X-23 is there with them to be at the party, and you see the masks. You see the pull-out shot of the masks, Wolverine and Deadpool's masks, and you just see the pizza, the Kevin Feige pizza from the first Deadpool film that he was bought, and that was the way the film ended. And there's the 2 kind of end credit scenes. There's one throughout the start of the credits that's the Good Riddance starts playing, or Good Riddance, the Time of Your Life starts playing, and it's like these shots, like memory shots, like time capsule shots of like old, like the auditions of like when the cast members of X-Men show when they started auditioning, and then Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four, and other Fantastic Four moments, and all these Fox moments, because this is the end, if you will, of the Fox era. I heard something that there's going to be a 4th Deadpool movie, maybe, and that there's there's going to be mutants in the MCU. But I think this might be the end of like the Deadpool Fox era. I don't know if they're doing another Deadpool movie or what they're doing, but this definitely was a worthy exception to make $205 million opening weekend. It was really, really good. And the ending final scene is like Deadpool like saying, "I'm tired of these rumors that I got Johnny killed." Because Johnny Storm got killed by Pyro when he's like, "Flame on!" and Pyro just like takes all the fire out of him, and Johnny falls on his crotch and lands. Cassandra Nova snaps her fingers and makes his skin pop inside out of his body, and he's dead. And he's like, "I never said." The Devil's like, "Yeah, this is what he said line for line." And at the end of the movie, Deadpool's like, "This is what he said. Let's go back to the tape." So he shows it to everyone, and is like, "All right, this is what he said." Is it Johnny Storm had a foul mouth in this movie, and I loved it. I loved it. So I loved everything about this movie. But as I said, I had a couple nitpicks. The ones with the friends, although they were in the movie, I loved it. I just wish they were kind of part of the mission a little bit. And my other one was Cassandra Nova, I think. She was fine. I wish I kind of fought her at the end, but other than that, I loved every other fight scene. Channing Tatum's Gambit. I wish, though, that Kidpool... This isn't a nitpick, because I'm glad it was his son. And Blake Lively, I'm glad it wasn't Taylor Swift. That's a positive. Huge positive. But I wish that Kidpool was Walker Scobell from Percy Jackson, who was in the Adam Project. Would have been perfect. Because he worked with Ryan Reynolds in the Adam Project, and I'm like, that would have been cool. But his son, I guess, is fine. And I'm like, I heard something that Ryan Reynolds show his kids this movie. I'm like, why? I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny that they're in the movie. So, anyway. So, my rating on this is going to be a 9 out of 10. Because of my nitpicks, it's going to be a 9 out of 10. I would have had a 10 out of 10. Don't know where it winds up on my top 10 films of the year, but it definitely will be. Stay tuned for, I'm going to redo my top 10 films of the year at the end of the year. So don't forget to stay tuned for that. Be sure to leave a like on this video down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me. Stay tuned for what's to come in the future on this channel. This was my big movie event of the year. Stay tuned for what's to come with my friends. Definitely going to be vlogging more with my new microphones and much more this fall, and much more. If you'd like, subscribe, follow me, subscribe to the channel Lego Dude 11 as it stays right now. Like, subscribe, follow me. Keep calm, play Lego, watch stuff. Peace out, everyone.
Bye.